I teach phase 1 literacy, and my students and I were doing a unit on food. We were talking about fruit and vegetables and meat, and it occurred to me that my students can't access inexpensive fruit and vegetables because they can't comparison shop. They don't read very well, so they don't comparison shop. They don't know what's in season, and they don't know what's the cheapest. I heard about the Calgary Community Kitchen and the Good Food Box, and I decided to help my students connect to it. I found out that there was a depot downtown at the Calgary Immigrant Women's Association, CIWA, and it was within walking distance from our school. So I made arrangements for these students to be able to go there at an appointment time in the future. We found out when the dates were, and I was trying to get my students to understand about that they pay for the food box and that later then they go pick it up. After contacting CIWA, I realized that my students needed to understand a bit more about the process, so I decided I'd make a book with a story to explain about the Good Food Box. I made the book on the computer, and I got some photos for it and that, and I sent it off to Duplicating. I made the style of book that the students were going to be assembling in class, and they had never done that before. It was their first time to assemble the book. So after we got the books back, all the individual pages, I went through in class and we assembled the booklet together where each student had their own book. We had a cover on it, and it was a story about a learner named John who was going to get a good food box. We went through the book, and in the book I made sure that the dates coincide with the dates that CIWA had for cutoff for paying for the book, as well as the actual date of the pickup. The students loved the book. We read it together many times. I read it to them and they followed. And they read it many times. They kept it for a reference. And the story in the book has a fellow going down, and he looks at the three different sizes of the boxes, and he decides which box is good for him, and he pays for it. And then he has to come back to CIWA a week and a half later to pick it up, which is the exact process that my students needed to go through. So it explained the process to them through the book. After reading the book, the students understood better about the Good Food Box. I reminded them a few more times about bringing money, and on the day that we were to go to CIWA, we walked there. We took learning outside the classroom. On our way to CIWA, it was about 3 blocks away. We read the different street signs. We read the signs about construction and the different places around, and we had a good chat and vocabulary development on the way. At CIWA, we all went up into a room. There, the staff at CIWA gave us photographs and explained about the Good Food Boxes, and about half the students signed up for the Good Food Boxes. Shortly thereafter, after seeing their friends sign up, more people signed up, and they got the boxes as well. They paid for the boxes, and then we went back to the classroom. On the day that we were to pick up our food, we walked back to CIWA, and we picked up our food. They organized the people according to small boxes, medium boxes, and large boxes, and the students just loaded the food up into their bags, and they were really, really excited. They're still talking about it, and they want to do it all again. It was a really good experience, and they're very happy with the value they got for their money.